Hi again, Gregory here, and it's so good to be with you once again to share a few of my thoughts. And I trust it will be of some help to you as I share my experiences and my learnings. So, we all have a journey in this life. First of all, we need to understand that uh, we have only one life in this world, and that life can span for about, I don't know, 20 years, 30 years, 50 years, 70 years, 19 years. But on average, we say that our mortality is around 75 years. Let's assume it is 75 years. So we live for about 75 years. And in these 75 years, this journey this journey which we call life that we go about, all of us have various roles to play. Okay, some of us have to play the role of a father, a mother, a son, or a daughter, or a husband, or a wife. Unfortunately, for some people, who are divorcees, they have to play the role of a divorcee or of a separated person, or of a lover, or of an uncle, an auntie, a brother, a sister. Various roles we play in this journey of life, don't we? And what is your role? What is the role that you play? I'm sure you will be playing almost all of the roles in your life, at least most of the roles in your life. And that's how we have to live our lives, and we have to play this role. So, what is the role that you play? And in this role that we play in our lives, I always believe that in my experience, in my research, in my discovery, and even in my own life, I categorize people in three different categories. I divide people into three different categories. And you would find yourself in one of these categories. So the first category is those who are marching forward. They are ones who are strong. They create their own breakthroughs, and they are very clear in their life. They know their goals. They bulldoze through any obstacles that comes their way, and they have a very strong and constructive mindset, positive upbringing, and wonderful life. And they just know that if there is any obstacle that comes their way, they will just find their way to break through and to create their own journey and to march forward in life. So I call them marchers. They are the ones who march forward. I would assume the percentage of those categories of people would be around maybe 20%, I would say, 10 to 20%. Then I categorize the second category of people who I would say they are in the loop. They are in the loop in the sense they're going through life and they find obstacles, and they are aware of the obstacles. They are aware of their limitations. They are aware of their shortcomings. And it's just that they ask themselves a lot of questions. They want to discover why things are not working in their lives, why my relationships don't work, why my finances are not working, or why my marriage is not working, why are my children like that, and why am I struggling in my business, or what is in my job. They are kind of people who are aware of their environment. They are not ignoring it. They are not avoiding it. They look at it and they say, yes, I'm finding this. They are primarily people who want to discover certain things about their lives. I was in that situation for about almost 25 years of my life. Always trying to find out what's happening to me. Why is this happening to me? And trying to discover certain things about my behavior patterns, my mindset, and why certain things keep repeatedly happening to me. Why am I in this situation? But I never found those answers. So these people who are in the loop, they are aware, they are conscious of the environment, they know what is happening to them, but they just cannot find out why certain things are happening and how to find a breakthrough. So they are basically, I call them in the loop. Means they are on a journey towards marching forward, and they just want to discover themselves. They just want to know, they want to find out, they want to find their breakthroughs. And trust me, I was in that situation for almost 25 years until recently. And I was in that situation. Things were happening in my life. I went through some situations were quite painful and quite disturbing, and I would always find myself in those situations repeatedly, thinking in the same pattern repeatedly and getting the same outcomes. And I would always ask myself, why is this happening? How do I discover? How do I find out? What can I do? So that's the second category of people. And I believe the third category of people, what I call is those who are stagnated. They are stuck in the sense, they are happy with their environment. They know that the situation they are in now at this point of time is not going to help them in the long term, in the long run. But they somehow convince themselves to be content with the situation they are in. They don't take ownership of their lives. They don't want to find out, how can I get out from this situation? What is stopping me? Where am I stuck? What can I do? How can I ask for help? They have made, as they say in Hindi, apne aap se samjhauta karna. Means they have compromised with themselves, and they have just felt that this is how my life is, this is my fate, and this is what I'm going to live by. And there is no kind of taking ownership of, no, I want to change my circumstances and my situations, and I want to move on in life. So I believe, there are three categories of people in their lives. So I want to ask you a very uncomfortable question. Which category do you live in? A, B or C? 1, 2 or 3? Which is your category? And what are you doing about it? Just giving you an example of myself. Unfortunately, I had to go through 2 relationships where I had to terminate in my life over a period of almost 30 years. And I've been in those relationships for a prolonged period, and I kept asking myself, what is it? Why is this happening to me repeatedly? Why do I get into a relationship which does not reflect my values, if I could use that word? And why am I always in a conflict with myself in these relationships? And through my coaching process and through the system that I developed for myself in my experience over the last 25-30 years, I strangely discovered that this had to do about my relationship with my parents, and especially my relationship with my mother. Don't get me wrong, my mother was a wonderful person, and she worked very hard to bring us up as a single mother. But the perception that I drew about my relationship with my mother affected me as I grew up in my relationships with women. I'm being very honest with you. I'm really being very honest with you, because I want you to understand that if something is happening to you, it is not new. Don't be surprised or strange that it is happening to you only. Many people would go through these situations. Maybe you would be facing a situation as a wife, or as a husband, or as a son, or as a daughter. I don't know. You need to ask yourself that question. So I went on a, discovery journey about myself. I tried to find out why I was this way and why these situations were getting produced in my life. And to my surprise, I found this main factor about my relationship with my mother. And I had to work on that. Even though my mother passed away many years back, God bless her for that. She was a wonderful person, and she took care of me and my sister, and she looked after us. But somewhere in my relationship with my mother, I felt, okay, I take that ownership and my responsibility. I felt that my mother didn't love me. I was not important. I don't remember moments when my mother would express words of affection or affirmation or a love to me. I felt at that point of time. That was my perception. And this affected my journey as I grew up into adulthood. So if you're that person, or you might be facing various other issues in your lives, as a son or as a daughter, as a husband or as a wife, and you find yourself wanting to discover yourself, you're curious to know, why is this happening? Why am I behaving in this way every time? What is stopping me from taking that step ahead? What is the fear factor in me? Why am I withdrawing? Why am I not being able to make a commitment to a relationship or to something? If you are in that situation, and you're searching for answers, you're trying to find out your breakthrough, and if you're serious about your life, I want to offer you a discovery session with me. Feel free to give me a call on the number that is there, just as a discovery, just to find out whether, do you really need coaching assistance? Do you really need to want to come out of the situation and to march forward? You want to move from the category 3 to category 2, and from category 2 to category 1. If you're in that situation, come alongside me, give me a call, and maybe I will be able to be of some assistance or of some encouragement to you. I hope that helps, and thank you for taking the time to listening to me. I wish you well. I wish you a happy life. I wish you a life of contentment. I wish you a life of joy and peace with yourself, first of all, in the various roles that you are called to play in your journey of life. Thank you, and wish you well. Thank you.